Good morning. Janis and I would like to share some news with you this morning. First, I would like to point out some of my observations since being with you this past month and 4 days. South Church is an amazingly resilient church with incredibly talented members, friends, and staff. And the last 2+ years have brought about lots of transitions. It became very clear to me when I accepted the invitation to become your interim minister that the ability to not just survive but thrive during these transitions has in part been because of two strengths that can and should be celebrated. These two strengths are, one, a strong and professional, competent staff, and the second is an impressive lay leadership structure. The board, the associate programs, the interconnections between people who care about one another and this congregation have kept you connected and focused on the well-being of one another and the continued sustainability of South Church. This morning, we want to recognize this vibrant community and share with you some of the steps we are taking to more clearly define the collaborative nature of leadership at South Church. You have had strong staff guiding and being present with you through these recent transitions. And Kirsten Hunter is one example of that leadership, as she has been holding many roles that fall outside of her original job description. Many of us have been talking and thinking about how leadership had been functioning during these transitions, but most importantly, how Kirsten has been a presence and a source of strength by keeping her sights on the long-term vision of the congregation. Janis, the news.
So the Board of Trustees is glad to announce that we have, by unanimous consent, accepted a proposal to move Kirsten into a broader leadership role at South Church. Her title will be Director of Lifespan Ministries, a UU Church position that exists to foster multi-generational congregation. In this role, she will support the faith formation of children, youth, and families by working closely with Jen Del Deo, who has accepted the position of Coordinator of Religious Education. As Jen takes a more primary role in our RE education program, Kirsten will expand her role to oversee and support adult faith formation and to become part of the visioning leadership of our congregation, a role she has already been holding during this transition. By making her leadership explicit, we are acknowledging the benefits of shared leadership as a path toward building a more resilient and accountable community.
The future sustainability and health and vitality of our congregation lies on having clearly defined organizational structure that religious professionals can enter. And as I continue to work together with Kirsten, alongside the Board of Trustees and others, we will be learning and exploring how to build a healthy, vibrant, collaborative congregation. This is one step in an ongoing conversation with all of you as we continue to evaluate our community during this interim period. We look forward to many more conversations with you, and we welcome your questions. Keep your eyes on ongoing communications for more thoughts on this process. Welcome to our worship service.
The Shared Ministry Committee would like to remind you that there are still 10 days to apply to be a worship, pastoral, fellowship, learning, or pastoral associate. More information can be found on the South Church website by searching Shared Ministry. Reach out to the office and we'll put you in touch with a committee member. The Pocket Garden Tour has been rescheduled to September 11th and 12th of 2020, but you can support the tour now by purchasing a bloom or by volunteering throughout the summer. Contact the Pocket Garden Tour Committee at pgt@southchurch-uu.org.
There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more peace somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love. There is more peace. There is more hope right here.
My name is Jonathan Cummings. I am one of a team of worship associates that have the honor of welcoming everyone to services at South Church. Today, we've had the pleasure of receiving another welcoming from Reverend Susan as we continue to build our relationship with her. Our sermon today is delivered by Laura Graham, our coach through the ministerial search process. South Church is supported by its wonderful staff, music director Joanne Connolly, and religious education director Kirsten Hunter. Welcome one and all to South Church. Thank you for joining us to share this Sunday morning. The music is graciously offered today by Sally VanderPloeg and Joanne Connolly. As when we are in our sanctuary, we ask that during our meditation, prayer, and sermon, you refrain from commenting in the chat so that we can better practice active listening. At times like this, there is a quotation I often return to. Frodo, I wish the ring had never come to me. I wish none of this had ever happened. Gandalf. So do all who live to see such times. But that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. There are other forces at work in this world, Frodo, besides the will of evil. Bilbo was meant to find the ring, in which case you were also meant to have it, and that is an encouraging thought. It is an encouraging thought, as is the reminder to focus not on the swirling world around us, but to focus on what to do with the time we have been given. To show how much of a fantasy nerd I am, in our time and place, I think we need to extend our reading of that quotation, exchange that directly sees it. Also, as politically driven as I am, I try to avoid that as a subject for our worship and as a topic that I address. However, as we approach our politics today, our politics can more literally deal out death and judgment, quotation from this exchange, than at any other time in my life. For some, it seems to breed caution, withdrawal, or inaction. For others, the reaction seems driven by impetuousness, marked by impulsive vehemence or passion. Driven by fear or emotions, our reactions tend to the extreme. Frodo. It's a pity Bilbo didn't kill him when he had the chance, him being Golem here. Gandalf. Pity? It was pity stayed with hand. Many that live deserve death. Some that die deserve life. Can you give it to them, Frodo? Do not be too eager to deal out death and judgment. Even the very wise cannot see all ends. My heart tells me that Gollum had some part to play yet, for good or for ill, before this is over. Pity of Bilbo may rule the fate of many. Do we have the determination of Frodo and the wisdom of Gandalf as we allocate our time and energies here in this place and in this time that we have been given? As I light my chalice today, thinking about all of the seeds that have been planted and all of the flowers and fruits that can be realized from our labors. The metaphorical flowers may come as we someday transition to a new paradigm when this crisis ebbs. Flowers growing from the seeds of recognition that the best policies come from a scientific analysis of data. Recognition that while it is coming at a cost, our current efforts can produce a healthier planet. And recognition that the fundamental unit of our economy is the human being and not a dollar bill. I'm thinking of the literal flowers, like those around me, and the fruits and vegetables we will harvest from our new age degree garden. Please join me in reciting and practicing our mission statement. The South Church nurtures spiritual growth through worship, learning, and community. We celebrate the worth and dignity of all people, and we inspire one another to act on our faith in the larger community.
Good morning, everyone. It's always good to be with you here, even if we're not in our church together. A couple of weeks ago, we mentioned to you how you each have a special tool that can help people feel better when things are hard. Well, so many of you have been using that tool to make us all smile and fill our hearts with all the photos and videos you've made, and when we've seen each other in Zoom classes and discussion groups. Thank you so much. It's kind of a superpower you have, and it makes a big difference.
Yeah. So this Wednesday is Earth Day. We thought about telling you a story, but then we remembered how good South Church kids are at loving our planet Earth. And kids can be so good at inspiring adults. So we realized that maybe our young ones could do a better job with the story this week than we could.
So we invited the young people of our community to be storytellers. We asked them to think about how much they love the earth and to create poems, songs, and love letters so that everyone can feel just how lucky we all are to live on this big, beautiful planet together. And one of our young adults agreed to jump in too. She grew up in our church and has shared a beautiful poem that she wrote just for us. See if you can figure out who that is.
Remember that we love you, we're always thinking of you, and we hope to see you really soon.
This song is called This Earth is for You and Me. This is how it goes. Let's listen. There's only one land that lasts for a while. There's only one chance to make it better. This earth is made for you and me. People, cats, and dogs too. Let's protect our world gently. Like flowers and other plants, this earth is made for you and me.
Mother Earth, you are special. You make us who we are. Without you, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't see the shining sun. All the birds and the animals, all the trees and the flowers, it's all because of you. Mother Earth, times like this are hard. All we can do is hope that something good will happen soon. We believe in you, so hang in there. We love you.
I love Mother Earth because I get to look outside and I get to look at the sunset and I get to play outside. And also because I love her animals and because I love dogs and cats, and also because I love the plants and I love the food that she had.
Dear Earth, thank you for giving us air and food and water. Thank you for sharing your many gifts of mountains, oceans, plants, rain, love, and more. We love you.
Some people love trees, but some people not so much. I know I do because they actually help us in a lot of ways. They can also be comforting. Trees are beautiful living creatures. They see when the light comes down from the sun, and if you walk by one, it knows how you are feeling. If you are happy or sad, trees take in whatever you give them. If it is love or anything else, trees can help you get through something. And when you're around them, you don't have to change yourself because trees like you just the way you are, and they will always be there for you.
I went to play bird.
La luna tocó mi ventana anoche. Me dijo que solo tenía un deseo. Quería ver a su esposa mientras el resto del mundo estaba en cuarentena. Entonces recogí mis llaves y caminé afuera. Ella durmió en el asiento de pasajero mientras yo manejé a la playa. El movimiento sutil del auto se despertó y vio por el parabrisas y oró. Querida Mar, ella dijo, tenemos que hacer algo con su cabello. The moon rapped on my window last night. She told me she had one wish. She wanted to see her wife, while the rest of the world was in quarantine. So I picked up my keys and walked outside. She slept in my passenger seat on the way to the beach. The subtle rock of coming to a stop awoke her, and she looked out my windshield and cried. My dear C, she said, we must do something about your hair.
Hi, I love going outside. I love the trees and wind. I love the water. I love the rain. I love the earth. The earth is my friend.
Dear Earth, thank you for the trees. Without trees, I wouldn't have any shelter. Thank you for Earth.
Dear Mother Earth, thank you for all you give us every day, even if we don't give you the same respect. Thank you for providing a place for all living things to live together. Let's give Mother Earth the love she gives us because she is our home.
Drop it!
Yeah. Earth Day, ruby slippers.
Let's do it!
Seacoast, worldwide. Yo!
Save the earth, save the earth, save the trees, save the trees, save the animals, and save the earth. Gas emits all this terrible stuff. Yeah, I know these times are pretty rough, but that's no excuse for neglecting our planet. Seriously, I bet she's about had it. We're harming everything from the robin to the haddock, but wait! There is still time to fix this. All we gotta do is simply just mix this.
What?
Fossil fuels. Cutting down of the trees. Killing the animals for no good reason, like the bees. Remember to recycle, reduce, and reuse, because all we gotta do is...
Say it.
Save the earth, save the earth, save the trees, save the trees, save the animals, and save the earth.
Shit.
Save the earth.
Can you please stop littering? Because then the Earth won't survive, and I want everyone in this whole population to have a good life on this planet. Bye, thank you.
we take a few moments for meditation, I invite you to take a deep breath. And if it makes you more comfortable, close your eyes. As you focus on your breathing, allow your unconscious mind to naturally conjure an image. Perhaps somewhere sparks awe, comfortable, calming, or reminds you of the state of flow. Consider what you might be seeing. Hearing. And what you might be feeling. The sensations of your body, or the emotions that well up. I invite you to let your breathing return to its natural rhythm. We take a few moments to follow our mind. I invite you now to move your attention back to the space you are in, listening to the sounds around you. If you've closed them, begin to open your eyes. Experience the colors and the sensations. As you return your attention to the external world, may you take the energy you cultivated with you.
Good morning, South Church in Portsmouth. Thank you for inviting me to your service this morning, and thank you for inviting me to walk alongside you in your search for your next settled minister. My name is Laura Graham, and I, along with Christine Purcell from the New England region of our UUA, will serve as one of your coaches during this transitional time, this search year, this quest for your partner in ministry. The title of my sermon is Crisis, Collaboration, and Creativity. What's a community to do? It was never supposed to be like this. This was never supposed to be the sermon I wrote. Nothing is as we expected it to be. I was supposed to have met with your search committee by now, in person, at a lovely retreat. We would have explored our respective callings for the coming year, created our covenant, and unlocked our individual and collective potential. At least that's what I like to think happens at my retreats. That, as I understand it, is why people pay me the big bucks as a facilitator. This meeting here today with you was supposed to solidify the deepening relationship of trust between us, all of us, after a series of bruising experiences. I was looking forward to meeting you in person, breathing the same air, seeing the same sights, hearing the same sounds. I wanted to be able to look into your eyes, shake your hands, and sit in your pews. I wanted to be fed by the spirit that fills a place when we gather for worship. And what about you? You have plenty of reasons to echo that same sentiment right back at me. It was never supposed to be like this. Not this moment in time, not the past couple of years. None of it was supposed to be like this. We are living through a pandemic, living through crisis. We few, we happy few, missing our everyday pleasures and connections if we are lucky, grieving for the loss of loved ones if we've suffered the worst. Coping with our fear and anxiety when we recognize that we have the potential to move from one state to the other with no notice at all. Life turns on a dime. Yes, we know this and this we say, but none of us wants to be reminded of that on such a daily basis. All of us are witnessing social, financial, environmental, and emotional shifts in the world around us as we confront the uncertainty of our own existence. Against such a backdrop, who would have guessed that obtaining paper products would occupy so much time or imagination? That eating so many beans would be possible? Who knew that people in northern India would wake up to a clear view of the Himalayas for the first time in 30 years? Who knew that a sudden cessation of human movement across the face of the earth would yield such dramatic change so quickly in the natural world? Never again can it be said that our behavior has no impact or that we are helpless to make a difference in the health of our planet. A timely reminder as we prepare for Earth Day. And here we are today, though cocooned in our quarantines, gathering despite all as well as we can. People, and therefore communities, behave differently in the face of a crisis. We've seen enough reports highlighting the darker side of human nature to know this is true. But we've also seen stories of generosity and collaboration, resilience and grit. Those are the stories we love. Those are the ones that call us to be our best selves. Your story is unfolding to be one of those. When the ministry of South Church was facing its first challenges over the past couple of years, what did you do? Did you dissolve into helplessness? No, you did not. Did you write your own epitaph and exit the stage with a fatalistic flourish, assigning all responsibility for your future to someone else? No, you did not. Did you sever your ties with our larger faith and resolve to simply go it alone, a sort of South Church first mentality? No, you did not. Did you gather yourselves to determine your power to do, to thrive? Yes, you did. Did you pool your strengths and pick up the reins of your ministry to become more intimately familiar with who you are and what you together can do? Yes, you did. Did you fundamentally reimagine what it meant to be partners in ministry? Yes, you did. There is no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about, says Margaret J. Wheatley. True words, and you have lived them. These are accomplishments to celebrate. This is growth to build upon. This is what it looks like when a congregation embraces its role as a full partner in its own ministry. And now, in the year ahead, it will take your collaborative spirit and your embrace of creative problem solving to find that partner. In a world turned upside down as ours has been, you will be relieved to know that some things have not changed. In all of human relationship, integrity is still a cornerstone. Self-awareness, empathy, and respect are still key. A firm grounding in love still forms the most reliable foundation. With these fundamentals firmly in hand, good process is still the best way to nurture connection, foster collaboration, and unleash creativity between and among many minds and hearts. So, in practical terms, what does this mean for you right now? What can you do to help find your next partner? What process will be good? Keep it up. That's the first thing you can do. Keep caring for one another, respecting one another, supporting one another. Keep learning who you are, including who you've been and how you got to be where you are today. Keep asking yourselves the hard questions, whatever those might be for you, about the part you played in your past experiences, the baggage that is your own to carry, and which pieces of luggage from your past, both good and bad, you are likely to carry with you into your next relationship. This time you're in, this is a time of congregational discernment, and it involves everybody. If you don't know deeply the extent to which you've been shaped by recent events, if you don't understand in your bones that you are not the same people you were even just 6 months ago, you aren't doing your part to get ready. Assumptions that may have been perfectly correct 2 years ago may have no application today. Things you once knew to be true beyond a shadow of a doubt might now ring false. Everything must be fair game for re-examination and reflection. This kind of self-examination is frightening for some and exhilarating for others. Undertake it in the same spirit of love and faithfulness to one another, and you will grow from it. Your ability to hold on to your curiosity about yourselves and how you are together, to clearly identify the challenges you face as a community, to follow your revelations and insights wherever they might take you, will speak volumes to ministers out there who might otherwise fear that your shortened time frame for search indicates either a blind wish for the continuation of your former status quo, or an equally blind reaction to a former ministry, a move to its opposite form, whatever that might be. Neither are appealing to ministers, neither are indicative of growth or self-awareness. That is your first job and the first step in the process, and it will continue alongside the work of your search committee throughout the coming year. If you don't truly and deeply engage in your first job, your search committee won't be able to do theirs, as their key responsibility will be to accurately and faithfully tell the true story of who you are, with all of your strengths and your challenges, who you've been and who you'd like to become. When your search committee reaches out to you for your thoughts, share them freely. That's the second thing you can do. When your search committee asks you to fill out a survey so that they can better know your mind and read your hearts, don't delay. When your search committee imagines new ways to gather your thoughts, your hopes, and your dreams for your future ministry, respond with gratitude for their hard work and faithful commitment to knowing your will. A little TLC sent their way doesn't hurt either. They'll thank you for it, and they'll be reminded that this congregation appreciates and supports them as they dedicate themselves to furthering the ministry of South Church. This work, this year, requires more creativity than it has in the past. The first job of a search committee every year is to engage in a deep study of the congregation, to enter their own discernment process to determine what it is that you are telling them in both word and deed. They are told every year that the key to remaining aware of the most current nature of your nature is to attend church every Sunday with you, be with you, notice and observe, identify and record all of what they see, hear, and feel about who you are together. To identify the difference between who you say you are and who they know you to be. To read between the lines and interpret what is not said. To notice how you've changed between the time they began and the time they write the final summary of you for the congregational record for all ministers to read. This may be more challenging this year. Search committees would never wish to rely only upon what they could learn from formal meetings or focus groups. The whole is always so much bigger than the sum of its parts, but we don't know when we will be able to be together again. We don't know whether we're at the beginning, middle, or end of our confinement and isolation, but this is the world in which we live, and you and your search committee will need to find creative ways to navigate this reality. How you and your search committee meet this challenge will matter greatly, but you have quite the track record for success under adversity, and I'm betting you will find your way through with your spirits high and your love for one another stronger than ever. I'll close with the immortal words of Audrey Hepburn. The best thing to hold on to in life is each other. May you continue to do so.
Extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts till we are together again. I offer this closing modified from a benediction given by Reverend Heather Ryan Stock. May whatever virtual gatherings or activities we engage in this Sunday, this coming week, or until we meet again, help nourish the seeds that we sow. Help restore us, our connections to one another, our sense of hope, beauty, and fun in this world. Our deep knowing that we have to take care of ourselves and each other with love and joy if we are to soulfully survive the world's pain.